Okay, so maybe we can start, right? So now today our main problems will be we will focus on review on the C plate. So first of all, is there any special question about the C plate because we include in the midterm test? So I hope that if you have any questions, if you have any point that you unclear during reading the document, I think that you will ask me, right? So now, first of all, I will review a little bit about the C plate, right? So basically, I hope that you can get it wrong right now. So, okay, so now, first of all, right, I will show you how we can set up the project for one C plate. All right. So let's take a look about the contents, right? So about the structure of one C plate project. Now, so basically the structure of this will be including at least 2 files, most than S7TST, right? So the main file will be the mod file. So after this, I will illustrate for you how to set up the one project in the C plate, right? So mod file it will be help us to describe the model, right? So this will be the structure of one mod file. So basically, we can put data directly into the model file like this, but sometimes we don't want the user to interface into the model. Or in another ones, we want to separate between the logic of the model and also the data of the model. Since when we ask the user, they update the model, right? Or they update the data. We don't want they to confuse or interfere about what is the model of our model, right? So usually that we want to separate between model and data file, right? So here in the data file, you can put directly data into the data file. Sometime, right? Your data will come from the different source. For example, it may be come from the SQL, from the Excel, from the CSV, some other database, right? So in this case, if we want to put the whole data from another data source into the data file, this will be very complicated. Now, it's same. Just imagine that you have maybe 1 million parameter of data, right? And now you want to collect it. You want to copy and paste all the things from your data source into the data file, right? Sometimes it is nearly impossible because it takes a lot of time. And sometimes when the user they change the content in the data source, right? Also, we need to re-update all the thing in the data file, right? And it will take a lot of time and take a lot of effort. So sometimes the data file will be the link between your model and data source, right? So here sometimes. So one typically right roll up the data file will be make the link or make the connection between the model and the data source. So here I will give you the format. How can we link between an Excel file and model file, right? But you can put it also data directly into here. I will illustrate later. right? So now the last one, so the Excel file, right? So he usually store the data. It can become from another form format or CSV is also okay, right? File.db database, right? But in the course and also in your test, it usually that you will store the data in a Excel format. And finally will be the test file, right? So the test file will be contains, right? So for example, when we already want to make some, when we already have the output from the model, right? Usually that is will be another form that's okay 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, and something like this. So from the view of the decision maker, this result is not easy to use, right? So they want us to give them some report, right? For example, if the name and how much we need to make the order from the supplier, right? How many we should be invest on the project. So it must be including some interpreter from the final result, right? So that the decision maker they can utilize the result. So the Excel file usually that to the test file usually help us to interpret the result we come from the model after we solve it. So that it will be useful for the later use, right? Now let's see. I will come up with the first and very basic problem about the knapsack problem. So I think that it will be easier for you, right, to understand. And this basic problem, but it will be very, it's include on the typical steps in the building the program, right? So here, now let's see. We have a 4 type project, 4 type of item, right? And we also have ways, benefit, and maximum number of each type, right? We have the total capacity is 10, right? So this is the maximum weight, total weight that we can pick up from on the item, right? And now, based on this kind of information, right, we can set up the mathematical model like this, right? Very basic. So if you already study OR1, right, I think that you can understand this model. So in case that if you don't your final thesis or something like this, I think it's the best way that you should be format, right? Your problem under like this. What is the index of the problem? What is the parameter complete with the index, right? And what is the decision variable? This will help you, right, to identify the model very easy, right? So now let's see how can we deal. How can we set up this model into the CPLEX, right? So now let's say this is the one CPLEX program. So first of all, we need to create a new project, right? So here you go directly to file, right? So new, right? OPR project, right? And here I will put the name of the knapsack, right? So your class is Saturday, so I put it with your class, right? Right. And now, so from this usually that I will add the following configuration, create model, and I will also to create data, right? So after that, right, we will finish. Now you see that here, from this and this and this, right? This is two open project. Sometimes some of you will run and you ignore that, like which is the current project will be run. So to avoid this, right, usually that we need to close. So double click here and you use to load unrelated project, right? So here now we have only the snapshot, right? And now, so first of all, we need to write the program, right? So let's see. Now I back a little bit into this, right? So this is the mod file, right? So the model file. So the step in the model file is will be including the, right? First of all, we need to declare the size of the X index, right? We need to declare the range of index. So with the range index will be run, for example, from 0 to up to certain number, or from 1 up to certain number, right? So after we already declare it, the next one we need to declare the parameter, right? Within the data, they will need to read. And the first one will be declare the decision variable, right? And reset up. So here it will be set up some setting like, so what is the longest time should the model should be run, right? And after that we have the objective function, and with constraints we have the keyword. And the next one we will have the post processing. That means that after they already run, right, we have the result. So we need to interpret the result to the text file, right? So this is the whole, or this is the frameworks of how can we write one model file, right? Now, so let's see how can we run this, right? So I back to this, so it will be right. Now, first of all, right, we need to declare. I'll do it step by step, right? So I need to declare num time, right? So that means that we will refer it to the data file, right? We don't declare it directly into here, but later I will show you how can we declare it into here, right? So the next one, we need to declare the range, right? Times. This will be run from 1 up to num time. So this is the range of the index, right? And the second one, we declare the float. This is the weight, right? Up, out, and this is will be take range of time, right? So trade-offs mean that we will declare it later in data file, right? And this one also benefit, declare it later, and right, and right type, right, and float capacity C, right, declare later. So here, this and this we already finished with the parameter, right? So in the next one, we need to declare the decision variable, right? So here, one thing that I want to emphasize that usually when you run your program, some of you will be forgot the plus sign here. Plus sign here means that it must be the positive, right? So we don't need to put the constraints. X must be greater or equal to 0, right? So here the plus mean that it must take the integer value, and also it must be greater or equal to 0, right? Now I declare it time. So here decision variable does not have anything to defer to the data. And now we already finished all of this, so now we need to execute some setting, right? So here you can put anything name is still okay, right? So it does not affect this, right? And here we have two kind of setting. The first one is split EB gap. Usually that this will be introduced in the document of the IBM, but most of the time I don't use this. I just only use the later, right? So here, split dot time limit equal to 100. it means that, okay, so we let them to run maximum 100 million 100 seconds, right? So here after 100 seconds they must output the result special file for us, right? Now already finished with settings, so now we come up with the objective, right? So here we want maximize, right? The benefit multiply with the number of x we will be adopt, right? This is our objective function. So the next one we will have the subject tool. That means that we can train that we need to consider, right? And here I think that this is the best practice that you naming the constraints like this. Since sometimes when you run, right, the result are not your model is not correct at the first run, right? So sometimes the program will help us to point out. So with constraint that will be create the invisible solution, right? So naming constraint will be help us to do this, right? So here for constraints one, right, we have the T for on, right, E in time, right, and now we have this. So xi must be smaller than or equal to ni, right? And here we have the second constraint, constraint 2, right? Sum I in time wi multiply with s I must be smaller than capacity, right? And this is finish the model, right? And so the next one, we need to make the output, right? So we need to execute the output. We need to handle the output result, right? So here, let's see. First of all, we need to declare, right, O file. So this means the file that we store with the output, right? So here, see, right? And for the next one, we have O5 plus Squarelight. So I think that if you already study C++ or Pascal, you already know the meaning of Squarelight, right? Objective value, right? After that, for E in time, right? We need to output the result. Right? O5, right? So here we output the result. Right. So here you see that we have some purpose text. The purpose text will be the purpose colors will be, that means that this will be constant, right? Constant string. So it does not change the content during the run of the output. So only, right, the black one must be changed. And after that, when we're already finished, right, we make some decoration. Right, sometimes I use this to separate if we have several sessions to output. I will use this to separate between the section. Right. And finally, we close. Right. So at this step, right, we already finished the model file, right? So now the problem is, okay, it already enough, but remember that even that, if we recommend that we put the data in the data file, right? But here you can also consider, or you can put the data directly into the model file. So let's see how can we do it now. So for our problem, we have the number item type is 4, so we put here, right? And now let's see another result. So y will be 1, 3, 4, 5. So here I can put directly y into here. 1, 3, 4, 5, right? And we have time, right? Okay, 3, 5, 7, 9, right? And we also have time. Maximum number of this will be, right? And this will be capacity, right? Finally, we declare the capacity, right? So capacity will be equal to 10, right? So now on the model and on the container already given, right? So here, now please take a look at this. So on the right hand side now, up to current, right? We don't have any file result.txt, right? So after we run this will be created and it will be put into the corresponding folder, right? So now we try to run. So in the first run, you cannot run directly into here. So you must click into here, right? Right click and you to run this, right? Okay. Right. Right. So now when you have to run this, right, you see that now on the right hand side, right, we already have the result.txt, and this result.txt will give us the number of the product, right? What is the number of the product? Why this will be give a BC value, right? Oh, sorry, here I forgot this. Now, so I try to remove this first and rerun, so you can delete it. Okay, and now we will run it again. Right. So usually that when you run, first of all, you need to consider the statistic. So the statistic with the square, yellow square mean that they already find on some feasible solution, right? Because in some time feasible solution is also very important. So in case that here we mean that they already come up with some feasible solution and also optimal solution here. Right now again we right, so here our benefit will be 19, and this is the value of each type of product that we should assign. Right, so someone asked some question, let me see. Right, so warning is not important, right? Because sometimes you create redundant variable or redundant content, right? And you don't use this variable in your objective value also in your constraint. So it will be create some redundant variable in the program. They will be informed about this, but it's not affect the whole general, right, of the program. So now the next one, that's I will want to show you that, right? So here we see that here we create the configuration we create the configuration automatically. So, but if we want to run with several data, right? And if we want to run with different model, so what should we do, right? So now the first step, now I pack a little bit into this, right? So here we know that, right? We here we put on the data into the model, right? So now I want to do another things. I want to separate it, right? So here I put the data into this and I call it, right? And so when I put into it here, I need to declare the data here. Right. So we will have the one data here. And now when we already one data, so we must to the model know that they need to link, right, with the data outside. So the parameter and all the thing we put with dot, right? This means that we have to link with the data outside. Right. So now in this case that we need to, I need to remove this, okay? You put it's still okay. Right. Not affect at all, right? So here, the model is clean. So when I mean the model is clean, that it does not contaminate with other data. So it's only the basic logic of the mathematical model, right? So if you change the sign of the data or you change the data, it still be okay, right? And it will be operate. It's isolate with the other. So now we run, right? So here, what is made data WPN. Okay, sorry, we don't need to this. Need to declare WPN, and that's why, right? Right. So again, we already have the result, right? Now, the first one is question is, okay, we have, so what will happen if we have another set of data, but we want to still keep this set, right? So let's see. Now in this case, I need to create another configuration, right? So here, first of all, I create another set of data, right? New run configuration, new data file, right? So I create a data tool, right? So you can put any name if you want. So here, to run it separately, I recommend that you will create another configuration, right? So here I will create a new configuration, right? And here, so in the configuration, right, usually this must be enough. The element, usually that mod data file and Excel file. Here we don't have Excel file. So we rush the model into run configuration, right? And I also crash the data to in the configuration, right? So now here we not display anything in the data tool, right? So I need to put some information in the data tool, right? Product tool is 0, right? So here now I copy some of them here into this, right? So now, for example, we want to change the size of the problem into 6, right? So we need to declare more, right? Here is 4, 5, 1, 2, maybe, right? 5, 3, 8, 1, 1, right? So here we increase the capacity maybe up to 15, right? So now everything will be okay. So we save this, right? And now we run configuration tool. Configuration tool mean that we use this model with the data set tool, right? So we run this. And here, let's see, right? Here the result is already output, right? It already updates, right? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which one that we should be 2 and which one that we should be right. So at this step, is everything okay with you? Right? So you already know how can we set up data, set up the model, and run with different set of right data. Now, but this is not enough, right? So since this is only suitable for some small problem. So now we consider some technique that you very frequently in the when the scale of the problem is increase considerably, right? Now let's see. Right, so now we use the tuple technique. Try to solve it with the tuple techniques, right? So why we need to use the tuple technique, right? Now let's see the problem, right? So in case that you need to go to the session file of guys Cplex, right? So sometimes this is hosted to enumerate on data due to the data size, right? Use tuple approach to handle this, right? The tuple is useful when the data is paired. So step when using the tuple will define the tuple, create a set, fit parameter. declare the decision variable, right? So now we consider assignment problem with the size of 10 shop and 10 worker, right? So here, if you already studied the OR1, right? So we know that we have one the benefit matrix. So what is the benefit when we try to assign the job J to the worker W, right? And in the case of 10 shop and 10 worker, so basically we need to declare the 10 by 10, right? So it will be the 10 by 10. So we need to insert totally 100, right, parameter. So now we consider the case that when we have 1,000 job, right, and we have 1,000 worker. So here in this case that we need to repair the 1,000 minus 1,000. So it will be about 10, right, 1 million, right? 10 raised to the power of 6, it will be 1 million data, 1 million entry, right? But is it 1 million entry necessary? Because we know that one shop cannot be qualified for usually that 1,000 shop. A lot usually that one worker can be qualified for 1 or 2 shop, right? Maximum maybe 5 shop. So the rest of 995 another shop will be redundant. That means that we cannot assign it worker into shop at all, right? So in case that one worker just qualify for maybe 5 shop, if we need to declare the parameter, it's only about 5,000 entries, right? But if we need to declare all the data, right? So it will be around 1 million entries, right? So this kind of declare parameter is inefficient, right? And it also inefficient because it creates many redundant variable, right? Because we know that some variable will be surely get the value of 0, right? So here tuple help us to avoid this, right? Help us to avoid to declare, to reduce, declare number of parameter, also reduce, declare the variable, right? Now, first of all, let's see how can we define the tuple, right? So define the tuple. If some of you already study about OOP, object-oriented programming, right? You will see familiar with this. So here tuple will be the struct, or also if you already study C, right? Tuple very similar to the struct type in C, right? So here this is the tuple name, right? That means that one kind of object. So here we have data type, and this is the name of the attribute, right? So one object we have many attributes. For example, one object person will have the age, right? The height, the gender, right? The weight, right? So height, gender, age, weight will be the attribute of you, right? Another one, we need to consider the set of tuple, right? So here set of tuple, it will be help us to identify the range. Remember that in the previous we had the range to help us to define the set that when the index will be run, right? So here now tuple set will be also help us to define the collection so that the tuple will be run in the set, right? Now the next one will be the parameter. Last one will be the right. Declare the parameter assigned to the tuple set and declare the boolean assigned to the tuple set, right? Remember that in the previous example, right? In the previous example, what we need to do, right, is here time, right? So time is also the time of index. So here, right, in the same way, you can think that Tuple set is also the kind of random index, right? And it will be help us to identify. Tuple will be help us to identify one object or one decision variable, right? In the brain, right? So now let's see, right? So here we define one tuple by two parameter, worker and chop, right? Worker and chop, right? So here I need to define the tuple by two parameter, worker and chop, like this and like this, right? And here we have total 1, 2, here this define worker and chop, right? And associated with it, tuple worker and chop, we will have the benefit of this, right? It will be correlated directly to the worker chop set, right? And also we also have the Boolean relating to worker chop set, right? So the rest will be easy, right? So now we try to practice with this by on Cplex. So now again I close this project, so it will be not create some miss run, right? Okay, new open and project, and so here the tuple is same more, right? So your class is Saturday, right? So I also add the default run configuration, model and data, right? Now we try to come up with it step by step, right? First of all, we need to define the size of the problem, right? So number of shop that we are interested in, 8, have number of worker, right? And so here we have the tuple. We define the tuple here, have two parameters, so I define it and the worker and chop. So this tuple requires two index. The first one is worker, right? And the second one is chop, right? So this is the name of two attribute. And the next one, if you want, I also define the range, right? Right, and also we already have the tuple of worker, so we need to define the set of tuple, right? Set up. This is kind of worker job, name of the tuple here, right? So best practice, if you define the set, we also need to include signal that for the user or for ourselves. This will be the set, so we can use it exactly later, right? And here, finish on things. So the next one we need to declare the parameter. So here I have the parameter will be benefit, right? So this will benefit will be assigned with the worker job set, right? So so here Boolean this means not only 0 and 1. It's also associated with the worker job set, right? And now, next one, we need to execute, right? Setting break. It depends to you, right? Delete, right? So usually I will put something like this, right? In reality, I will put something like this. So in this case, this means that it will take, I will allow maximum 3 minutes, right, to run. Right, so here we come up with the maximize objective function, right? So here tuple, we need to put it into the brackets like this, right? Sum in on the worker job set, right? Benefit. The index now will be 2, right? Worker and change. The next one we multiply with x worker and change. Right, so we already finished with this. So we have subject to constraints. Right. So we consider on chain, right? So we need to consider for on chain in chart. So here in this case, right? And now we declare second one, workshop set worker, right? We declare the second constraints. Right, sum we change set is right. Each job must be can only show my one worker, right? Okay. Okay, so basically we already finished with this, right? So now practice that you output your result in the readable way, right? So we execute output, right? Someone asked, do we normally use tuple for two-dimensional data? It depends, right? So in case that your data is very sparse, when I mean that's very sparse, that you don't, you know that some case, many case are impossible, or many case will create an infeasible solution. So in this case, that we will use the tuple because it will be help us to handle the data more efficiently, right? And it will be create a less variable. here, let's see. So if we use it at normal, right? In the previous example, if we use it at normal, we will create about how many times? It will also create 1,000, 1 million variable, right? 1 million variable. It will take the Cplake very long time, sometimes impossible to run. But in KDAS, if one worker, it may be qualified for only about 10 job, right? So it will create only 10,000 variable, right? So it's only 1% we compare with the original. So 1%, it will take less time, right, to run, and also less time to prepare the data, right? So in KDAS, we see that we have many impossible case, right? So it's better to use the tuple, right? It will save time, and also it will be help us to solve the problem much more efficiently. Right, and here we need to so in KDAS the data with more dimension, right? So I think the in KDAS data more dimension, the tuple is more efficiently to use than the traditional. So after this example, now we will back again to the chapter 5 when we need to use on the remember flow chart or chop chart problem, right? In this case, use the tuple will be much more efficiently than use the normal case, right? Right, so here, remember that. Right, so here we need to declare var in Booker subset, right? So here A will be the tuple, right? Since here this is the set of tuple, so A here will be the tuple, right? Now let's see. When X will be the tuple, right? So if the variable associated with the tuple value of X equal to 1, that means that will be assigned, right? We need to override, right, like worker, right? So here we need the name of the worker, right? Or the number of the worker. So we must associating the A with the attribute worker, right? So here you see that it will be also auto recommend us, right? So here worker, right? And now will be assigned to the job, right? So here we need to the name of the job. So A, right, job, right, and now we close. All right, and this one will be finished. So after we finish this, right, we need to close the file. Right, this will be also help us to recommend this close. Right, Okay, so try run first of all. Right. It is okay. Just try to run. Missing this. Missing what? Missing for what? Apps. Right. So missing this. Let me check. Oh, why here? Come put this. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, why right line? New. Oh, okay, alors. Wood file. Okay. File, right. Good. Job. Missing this. Why this missing? You missed the formula. So we got so with line. Ah, yeah. Thanks. Right. Not that. Hey. Okay. So hey, at this step, we still not define the data, right? So now we need to define the data, right? So basically, right, you can link the data with the Excel file, but some people here, especially who use the MacBook, right, uh, link the data to the Excel file on MacBook is nearly impossible you uh, unless you use the parallel machine. So here we can declare the data directly into here, right? So I will show you, right? Here we have num chop equal to 5. We also num worker equal to 5, right? And now we have the set of the ball, right? First of all, I need to declare the worker job set, right? So worker job set. So here, right, you use the brace for the worker job set, since it will be the set of the top ball. Now let's see. Right, so here worker and job we have 1 right? So I put 1 here, right? 1 2, right? 1 3, Another one A14. Right, so here this is for 1, so I have 2, 2, 2. This will be 2, 3. Right. 3, 3, 3, 4. 3, 3, 3, 4. Right. 4, 4, 4, 5. 4, 5. 5, 4, 5, 5. Right, so totally we already declared the number of worker job set. Right, so the next one we need to declare the benefit. Right, so here the benefit. Benefit. This will be corresponding to the this. Right, and here we already have on the result. So we say this, run this. Oh, sorry, not come up. Right. Okay. Now we already run this. Right, and here we have the result. Right, under format that we want. Right. So at this step, is everything okay? Right. Now, okay, this is the mod file. So you can say, that's great. Okay, so if everything will be okay, so now we can a little bit back to the chapter 5, right? So chapter 5 will be on the flow shop and chop shop. That's the chop shop problem. So I think that's all of you will understand this. Right, scan it, chapter 5. Right. Wait me a minute. I need to drink some water. Right, so okay, now let's back to the chop shop. So basically the chop shop problem can claim like this, right? We had a set of job and also we had a set of machine, right? So each job require that it must follow some specific sequence on the machine, right? And the capacity of the machine is only one. So in this case, if some job is finished, right? But the after machine is not released, right? So they must still stay in the machine wait until, right? The next machine is released, right? So this is the case of the chop shop. In case of the flow shop, on job say the same sequence, right? In case of the chop shop, each job can be a different sequence, right? So here now let's see. In case of chop 1, 2, 3, we have the sequence 1, 2, 3, chop 2. It must follow the sequence of the machine 1, 2, 4, 3, and chop 3. We will given like this. We are also given the processing time here, right? And now to solve this kind of problem using the program or using our Cplex, right? So let's see how can we modify this under the graph, right? So here in this case, right, it not will be represent one pair of information. The first one will be machine. The second one will be the chop, right? So here this chop will be represent that is must follow the sequence of machine 1, 2, 3, right? Now, on this graph, we will have two kinds of act. The first will be solid act, right? The solid act will be represent the sequence that the chop must be followed. The sequence of machine that the chop must be followed. Let's say for chop 1, right? The sequence of this, the chop must be followed, must be from start. After that, they need to go to machine 1, machine 2, and machine 3, right? Here, start, right? Machine 1, machine 2, machine 1, 4, and 3, and n, right? Doing in the same. But now we know that the sequence of the chop is already fixed, but the next one we must be more important is, so on each machine, how can we organize the chop? That means that on each machine, how can we identify the sequence of the chop, right? So now, this is what we need to do. And it will be represented by the broken act, right? So here basically one broken act will be represent one decision variable, right? So here maybe on the machine 1, chop 1, right? Can be conduct or can be processed before chop 3, right? Or vice versa, right? Chop 3 can be processed before chop 1, right? And here 1, 2, and 3, they must be processed on machine 1. So we need to identify the direction of the arrows or the act in its pair relationship like this. In the same way for the machine 2, here machine 4 and machine 3, right? Machine 4 only chop 2 and chop 3 need to occupy, right? Here only 2 and 3 need to occupy. Here, right? Chop 3, some machine 3 only chop 1 and chop 2, right? Need to occupy. Right, so here now from this we must be think about this, right? So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Total, not too much act, right? So it's very spare, right? So here, based on this kind of information, right, we can identify the tuple. The tuple, remember that the tuple will be help us to index, right? Or to identifying the one relationship or one variable. Here, let's see now. For example, here for the tuple of the broken act, right? Broken act, for example, here to here, we have the machine will be fixed, right? The here, the two chop, right? We need to be identify the direction of the one broken act. And in the solid act, right? The chop will be fixed and the machine will be varied, right? So here we need to kind of tuple, right? Now, first of all, I also need the kind of information of the tuple of knot, right? One knot will be represented by this, the chop and the machine, right? So here we have the tuple of knots will be the attribute of chop and machine, right? The next one will be represent the tuple of solid and chop, the pre or the before machine, the after machine, successor machine. And we also have the broken act, machine, pre-chop, and sub-chop. I also define the range, right? Setup. Here, seen in our problem, we have in our model, right? We need the peak M, right? So we also need to define the peak M value, right? So I get some very last value. Next one, we have the processing time relating to the knot, right? So here, if we need to process, right, on some machine, we must have the time. So processing time will be associated directly to the knot, right? And the second one, right, we have the X will be L what decision variable. So it will be in the broken act, and we need to find the Cmax. Cmax is also L value, and it will be get the integer positive integer positive float value, right? And now let's see, so how can we interpret our model into kind of this constraint, right? So since this, even our problem look very difficult, say, right? But basically we need only 1, 2, and 3 constraints. So let's see how can we interpret this into this, right? So here, if ISG, right? So here this is mean this for the set of what? Of solid act, right? So I will be starting time of this, right? So starting time of chop on the after machine much greater than starting time of chop on the before machine plus processing time, right? Cmax must be greater than the starting time of plus processing time of all knot, right? So it must be greater than finishing time of all knots. And if we have XIKG, so here IKG is job C is processed before job K in machine I, right? So if it's equal to 1, that means that the XI must before what? Sorry, J must before K, right? If it's IKG equal to 1, that means that J must before, J must after case, right? J must after case. And this will IKG here, it will be represent for the one not set of the one the broken act, right? It will be represent for the one broken act, right? Here, IKC will belong to the broken act, right? So basically, we have only like this 1 through 3, right? And now, based on the mathematical model, we need to set up, right? We need to set fill the this, right? So basically, we don't. It's not difficult at all if you already have exact mathematical model. So from exact mathematical model, I think that now you can build the program to see and to verify results by yourself. Stop. Nice. That's okay. So now we can do it. All right, and so we have another kind of football. Solid Max. All right. So Solid Max we prepare design the fifth sequence of job on machine. So we have in job, right, in three machine. It's a set machine, right? We also have a football broken net. So in machine, and so pre-job, the job we find the job actor. Right, we define the range of job. Okay, not define the job. So we define plot, skip, CMAX, skip, something. Now we go to the main. CMAX. right? So for on chart, place a set machine, right? Place machine is a set machine in solid and set, right? So the starting time of job after must be greater than starting time. Right, and here the last one, PS, right, S, PS, Victoria. Right, so basically we already finished with the model. Now need to output a result. Now we need to consider, right, job will be titles with machine. Right, machine. Right, job. Job. Right, and this one we check the processing time of this, right? Processing time. Let's see. Right. So here we can get this. So that load of files. Right. Right. So here now we already have the model. So I need to declare the this, right? So first of all, we back again to the mathematical model to consider which kind of information that we need to declare. First of all, a not set, right? Num job, num machine, not set, solid, and recognize and processing time, right? So here, num job, we have so three, right? We have three. Num machine, we have four, right? And so not set, I will have, right? Right, so this is about the not set. So here we need to declare the solid act. Right, I already declare it in the here. Right, solid act set. Alright, so I copy it to make it more easier. So this will be solid asset, and we need to broken asset, right? Asset. So here are lots of things that you need to display. Right. And so here we come up. So right. Right, and the next one we need to declare the processing time, right? The time, right? So here, let's see, processing time. Okay, so remember that when we declare the pro time, it must be corresponding to the position of the machine and the job for here, right? So otherwise we create the wrong result. Right, so now everything will be finished. So we run. So in the first run, we must do this. Data element solid asset not defined. So let's see. So this access not defined. Here, sorry. Right. Right. So here we have some warning here that element of sharp range has never been used and element medicine range has never been used, right? So here it means that we already declared redundant, right? But it's still okay. It's not affect, right? So let's see that our result here, right? So here we can see that. Okay, result enough to right. So we run and reformat it. Right. So from this you can see that by this information we can know the job, the time of this, right? And we can see how they can assign job into the machine, right? Rồi mấy bạn tới phần này mấy bạn có thắc mắc gì không nào? Rồi.
Hãy cho em xem lại cái phần model của cái bài này.
Rồi, phần model.
Dạ rồi.
Rồi.
Em không có câu hỏi gì hết rồi.
Rồi, mấy bạn có câu hỏi gì hết thì giờ coi thử practice thử một bài đề thi năm trước của cao học nhưng mà cũng dễ thôi, mình sẽ nói nhanh cho mấy bạn. Tại vì môn này nếu mà không học phần mềm thì nói thật cũng không biết phải làm như thế nào. Cái phần sau mấy bạn đọc môn này mấy bạn đâu phải tính tay được đâu, tính tay chỉ một số phần thôi, còn sai lớn tất cả đều phải tính máy hết. Rồi mấy bạn coi thử giùm mình question 2 này nè. Rồi. So, cái này bài toán cũng thật sự là cũng giống bài toán mình làm nhưng mà nó có khác một tí. Right. So now assume that we have three machines, right? 1, 2, and 3, right? So here the capacity of each machine is only once. That means that at one time they can only store one chart, right? So here now, between the machine 2 and machine 3, right? We will have one buffer, right? Buffer number 2, right? Right. And we have capacity equal to 1. That means that they can store only one chop, right? Here now the process will be like this. First of all, chop will be going to machine 1. After that, machine 2, right? So when they finish machine 2, they see that if machine 3 is free, right? They can go directly into machine 3, right? If machine 3 is not free, right? They will wait at they will go and they see that the P2 is free, they will move to the buffer, right? And wait here, right? And the capacity of the buffer is only 1, right? So if the buffer is occupied, right? Now they must wait at the machine 2, right? And now we know that the top 1, top 2, and top 3, they also go to the sequence 1, 2, and 3, right? When we also the processing time of machine of each chop, right? So here, our problem is we need to solve this, right? And we can use the method that we use in the chop shop to solve, right? So here, since our time is limited, so I will give you some hint. You can back to the previous class on the Wednesday to see, right? So here, on the case of buffer 2, right? We can consider the buffer 2 with capacity 1 at 1 machine, right? And the processing time on this machine is for on chop, it will be equal to 0, right? So here, see that now buffer 2 can be considered machine 4, and processing time of this will be equal to 0. And now the sequence up on chop, right? This will be modified at 1, 2, 4, 3, right? Because here, after finish machine 2, right? After you finish at the machine 2, and you see that machine 3 is empty, right? So you will go to the machine 4 with processing time 0, right? After that, immediately go to machine 3, right? So the main idea will be like this. And in the case that you realize that the machine 2, you realize that the machine 3, and also the buffer is occupied, right? So what should we do? We must to wait, right? And after that, when the chop in the machine 3 is released, is finished, the chop from the buffer will be go to the machine 3, and the chop from M2 will be go to the buffer 2, right? So the main idea is very easy. You need to do is only to consider the buffer at the machine 4, and it will be have the processing time will be equal to 0, right? So here, since we don't have, I don't know that we have enough time or not, but let's see. I already have right. So maybe we can open it to see, right? Let's say for our problem, usually that you use the same, right? Also the chop shop, you use the same model, nothing change, right? What you need to change here is we need to change the set of broken egg and also the set of solid egg, right? And also the set of processing time, right? So here for on chop and the processing time, I will have X will be equal to 0, 0, and 0, right? So I hope that you can practice by yourself since we still have time. So think how can you modify? Yeah, think how can you modify the data set. So I will run to see the result here. You can take the screenshot to just verify that whether you get the same answer. Right, now, right. Rồi, mình đã data ở đây cho mấy bạn. Right, the code thì nearly the same the chop shop. Right, bạn nào đã làm chop shop ở trên thành thạo rồi thì ở dưới mình chỉ cần modify lại data, sau đó mình put into the model to see. Right, what is the final answer of the model? Rồi mấy bạn làm train thử the data cho phù hợp với đúng bài toán của mình, rồi coi thử kết quả nó như thế nào. Rồi. Mấy bạn có phần này có thắc mắc gì không nè? Trong môn này của mình thì sau bữa hôm nay thì hấp đáp là mọi người đều đã biết sử dụng được phần mềm, right? Viết được cũng đơn giản. Hiện giờ có một số bạn sử dụng Mac á, thì MacBook á, thì có thể sẽ không liên kết được với Excel file. Nhưng mà nãy giờ mình đang cố tình mình làm á, là mình cũng không có liên kết với Excel file, để cho mấy bạn thấy rõ ràng là mình có thể put data trực tiếp vô đó that file. Nên bạn nào sử dụng MacBook thì chỉ cần download phiên bản của MacBook về, chứ không cần phải cài Parallel Windows làm gì. So in general, the C plate EB gap, it will be the gap that the program estimate how far it reached the optimal solution in the percentage. For example, here, if you remember that in the OR1, we study about the dual property, right? So between the dual and the primal, we always have the gaps, right? And it will can be calculate this gap divided by the current optimal to consider so how far we can reach to the optimal value in the solution. But now the main problem is in the general way, in the specific way, when on the variable are continuous, this can be found very easy, right? But in the case of the MIB mixed integer programming, the gap, this gap cannot be found exactly because they just used to approximate it by solving the relaxed problem. That means that there is now some the integer constraints of the variable. So here, the MB gap here is just only some estimate value between the current value of the feasible solution and the solution they think that will be the optimal. So it cannot reflect a lot about the process. So in most of the time, what I usually set, I often set is only the time limit, right? Because sometimes especially for some laptop, they cannot run the C program too long. Usually that I think that's less than 20 minutes and the RAM will be full, right? It will be overlap the RAM and they cannot load the program anymore. File most của example chính là cái file chop shop mình làm nãy giờ. Right. Tại vì cái này cũng hướng dẫn sử dụng chop shop mà. Thật ra mình chỉ cần đổi data thôi đã phù hợp với là scale của mình thôi. Nhưng mà mấy bạn phải hiểu để mấy bạn có thể đổi được data. Right. Alright, so this is the data for someone. Right. Constraint Google example. Right. So here. Giờ mấy bạn coi lại nè. Trong example của mình, right? So in our example, that means that here every chart which must be follow the sequence 1, 2, and 3, right? But first of all, now between machine 2, in general, if, for example, if one chart at the machine 2 and they already finished, but they see that the previous chart at the machine 3 they not finished, right? So they must be wait in the machine 2. At the result of this, the chart in machine 1 cannot enter machine 2 at all, right? So someone think that, okay, if I will deliver one buffer here, the situation maybe can be improved, right? So they will put one buffer here, right? And this buffer have capacity of equal to 1, right? So now, if chart at the machine 2, they finish and they realize that, right? The machine 3 also empty. They will move directly into machine 2 to machine 3, right? Now, but if chart in the machine 2, they say that, or they see that the chart in machine 3 is not finished, but they already finished, so they will move to wait at the buffer B2, right? And when the chart at machine 2 finish, they will.
Thầy ơi, cái này em hiểu rồi, nhưng mà ý là em là cái câu ở trong slide á thầy.
Trong slide nào?
Là cái câu mới làm lúc nãy luôn anh thầy. Câu
chỗ chapter 5 á hả?
Dạ vâng.
Rồi, ok. Right. Now chapter 5. Rồi. Giờ mấy bạn coi thử cái constraint first and constraint second is ok đúng không? Hai constraint đầu.
Dạ, cái constraint đầu là vì sao mà phải lớn hơn bằng không?
Tại vì nếu coi thử nào, nếu chart H đúng không? Ở đây EG tiến tới HG có nghĩa là gì? Machine H chart G được tiến hành trên machine H sau machine Y. Đúng không? Có một solid act chạy từ Y tới G. Phần trước là machine, phần sau là chart. Nếu chart G được tiến hành trên machine H sau machine Y thì sao? Thì starting time của nó trên machine H phải lớn hơn bằng starting time của nó trên machine Y cộng processing time của nó trên machine Y.
Dạ em hiểu rồi.
Dạ ok cho đó đúng không?
Dạ.
Rồi, còn cái phần khác còn phần nào nữa không?
Dạ không rồi. Dạ, vậy được.
Ok.
Dạ, em cảm ơn thầy.
Mấy bạn còn phần nào thắc mắc nữa không nào? Tại vì mấy phút nữa là mình phải trả room cho các thầy cô khác rồi.
Dạ, em có một cái là thầy nãy em bị miss mất cái phần end gap á thầy, cái Cpex end gap á thầy có thể F gap chứ thầy giải thích để em cái phần cái đó được không thầy? Cái code thôi
cái y-gap á là thí dụ như mình học hồi đó mình học trong phần OA1 đúng không? Là nó sẽ có một cái được gọi là bài toán dual. Right. Khi đạt được tới nghiệm tối ưu của mình thì khoảng cách giữa dual và primal của mình sẽ là bằng 0. Right.
Yeah.
Thì ở đây trong bài toán này nó sẽ tính tỷ lệ IP ghép của mình, nó sẽ tính tỷ lệ phần trăm giữa cái bài toán dual và bài toán primal của mình relax, và nó chia cho tỷ lệ giống như cái nghiệm mà hiện giờ của bài toán primal mà nó kiếm được. Vấn đề ở đây là bài toán đó nó tính là dựa trên là bài toán relax, chứ thật ra nếu mà nó biết chính xác giá trị tối ưu của nghiệm là bao nhiêu thì nó đã kiếm được rồi, đúng không? Nên cái việc mà nó set IP ghép như vậy nó sẽ dẫn tới một cái tình trạng là nhiều khi em set IP ghép quá nhỏ thì nó đã tới nghiệm tối ưu rồi mà nó vẫn chưa biết. Right. Nên hoặc là IP ghép ở đây nó chỉ có giá trị tham khảo do nó giải hoàn toàn là bài toán relax chứ không phải là giải bài toán mà có ràng buộc là nghiệm nguyên. Nên thường á, khi trong mà giải bài như giải thông thường á, thầy chỉ set time limit thôi. Tại vì có một số máy á, thì nó sẽ có RAM của nó rất là ít. Nếu mà bạn để mà IP ghép quá lớn hoặc là time limit IP ghép của bạn để quá nhỏ thì nó sẽ dẫn tới trường hợp là nó chạy hoài mà nó kiếm không ra. Mà trong khi máy thường á, thì chạy khoảng cái chừng 20 tới 30 phút thì nó đã không thể là nó bị tràn RAM mà nó không thể kiếm chạy được nữa. Nên thường thì set time limit là cái mà mọi người hay sử dụng nhất, có nghĩa là chạy sau bao nhiêu phút nếu kiếm được nghiệm feasible best so far thì xuất ra.
Dạ rồi, dạ em hiểu rồi, em cảm ơn thầy.
Rồi chắc nếu mà mọi người không có câu hỏi gì nữa thì chắc lớp mình stop ở đây nha, tại vì lớp sau sẽ còn sử dụng room này nữa. Rồi bye bye mấy bạn.
Em cảm ơn thầy, chào thầy.
Bye bye mấy bạn.
Cảm ơn thầy.